Join in now.
Hi everybody, Jerry Taggart here. Now be sure to watch Chris and Leicester Till I Die TV by subscribing on YouTube and following them on social media for all the latest Leicester City news and information. Come on you foxes!
Are you ready? I'm saying, are you ready? Six, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello.
Hello. Gets me every time, that. Good evening. Transfer deadline day. 57 minutes to go. Going to get anybody else in? Well, probably not. What do you think of the transfer day? Can I just add, I'm going to have to say this before I get my co-host in, but Sky, will you just fuck off? I tell you what, I started tuning in because it's obviously transfer deadline day, so I've had it open on my laptop. Yeah, we fucking know Ronaldo is going to Man United. If I'd got £1 for every time that you'd mention it today, I wouldn't need to claim universal credit for about 10 years. How far are you up Man United's arse? I mean, we know Sky, they coined this top six, big six, whatever you want to call it, and we know you've got your head up their arse, but you're coming out, I can almost fucking see you in the gob. You're that far up their arses. How many times, and somebody comes on talking about another club, oh, while you're on, what do you think about Ronaldo going? Now, I don't wish the guy any harm, but my God, I'd love it if he broke his leg in the first game he played. And like I say, that has been a bit nasty, but Sky, I've had it with you. I can see why people cancel, and I can see why people go to BT, Amazon, and one or two of the other, shall we say, other sites that you can watch games on, because Sky, you are a fucking pain in the arse. Will you just shut the fuck up about Ronaldo? Please? This has been a public service broadcast on behalf of every other football fan that's not a Man United one in the country. Daniel, save me. How are you doing?
How you doing?
I'm fine now. I got that off my chest.
Sorry, mate. I was miles away then. I was, you're off on your rant there, and
I mean, I don't know whether you've been working today or whether you've had it on. I mean, up until sort of this year, I've sort of been working most deadlines days, so I've probably not had to put up with it. But literally from first thing to now, they are still talking about it. It's still top of the news. We know he's come back. Do you know what I mean? We'll get Freddie Gary Lineker back at this rate and see how much coverage that gets. I mean, how far up their arse do they have to be? We know it, you know.
Yeah.
There are 90, well, let's say they got the top six. So there's about 80 or 84, 85 other clubs in this country, in the top five pyramid things that aren't fans of the top six. They don't give a shit whether Ronaldo's signed or whatever. But literally break your leg in the first game, and I would absolutely piss myself laughing. I really would, really would. JB, good evening. I'm disappointed in Leicester's outings in terms of got rid of Pratt, but Mendy and Chowdhury still here, not happy. Well, I'm just gonna run through, because of breaking news is that Chowdhury, actually Sky put in breaking news and Leicester all in the same thing. You wouldn't believe it. But discussions between Leicester and Newcastle over a loan deal have broken down. The midfielder will be staying at the King Power Stadium. Steve Bruce was desperate to bring him to St James's Park, but despite Leicester offering compromises in terms of his wages, no agreement could be reached. I mean, I'm not a Chowdhury fan. I thought he might be going, but if people aren't, people can't afford to sign these players.
Yeah. He can do a job, but he has a bit of what, as a kind way of saying it, he's a bit of a headless chicken, isn't he?
I mean,
Like
he's a
to
red
give the
card
ball
waiting
away.
to happen, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he goes flying in, and sometimes his passes go astray. I mean, given the choice between the two, I'd rather have Mendy in as a DM, but
Yes. Yeah. Well, I was just going to say that then, Daniel, is, you've got obviously Ndidi.
Yeah.
You've got Mendy, who did excellently for us when Ndidi was injured start of last season.
Yeah.
It was like having a new signing. And then you got Chowdhury third in line. How many defensive midfielders do you need? And like you say, I'd sooner have Mendy.
I mean, I'm not a massive Mendy fan because he's mediocre. He's good, but he never does anything special. He always passes backwards when I'm watching him. I've seen him pass forwards.
The problem is, though, is how does anybody, if we sign another defensive midfielder, going to compare to Ndidi?
Yeah, but I mean, at least he doesn't give it away like Chowdhury. But
no, this is it. And like you say, I mean, I wouldn't want to go into a season thinking that he was going to be our number one DM for the whole season, but but as a backup, certainly. But I mean, I've never understood, and I suppose it is all down to money. But if we want Chowdhury to go, I'm reading into that we even offered to pay part of his wages, and yet he's not even playing for us. And let's be honest, he probably won't play, a bit like a Slimani,
Yeah. I don't know what the answer is to that one. I mean, when does the transfer window close to foreign?
Now you ask. Well, they were talking on Sky in between the Ronaldo talk. I'm not going to let it go, They did talk about Griezmann going back to Atletico Madrid. Because Barcelona really in the shit. That's a shame, isn't it? That's a big shame. But and they were saying, there's an hour and a half to do it. So I'm guessing it's around the same time.
I mean, the other story that came up was not to do with Leicester, was Mbappe, and
yes,
Real Madrid coming in for him with I think a £220 million offer. And PSG didn't get back to him, so they binned it off. So he's going to leave for nothing now. So I mean,
yes,
whoever sanctioned that once,
I know. I kind of had to go. I was want to double take things reading that, but somebody on Sky, one of the pundits, actually made the point that 220 million to the owners of PSG is like 10,000 to you and me.
Yeah.
And they'd sooner have him for a season. But, I'm thinking like, wouldn't it be nice to be in that position?
Wouldn't it?
Anyway, good evening to Hayden. Thanks for joining us. What do you think of our transfer window? Everybody let us know. Facebook user, not sure who you are, but it's the question a lot of us have always... I've not just been asking that today. I've been asking that for like 12 months. Why is Perez still here? I don't know if anybody saw. I interviewed.
Why is Perez?
Just why? Yeah, leave the still air off at the end. But I was interviewing Jeff Thomas from TalkSport recently, and he said Perez is probably not as bad as most Leicester fans think he is, but he's not as good as Brendan Rodgers seems to think he is.
Yeah.
And sometimes you've got players that are just the manager likes them. Peter Taylor, Junior Lewis. And apparently, Jeff told me this, was that on the first game that Junior Lewis played for us was amazing. And apparently,
I can remember that. Yeah, he played really well.
Yeah, and they said it was like
raving about him.
A Brazilian, and then obviously that he peaked after one game, you know. But I don't know why, you know, Brendan sees something in Perez. I just don't know. None of us know what it is. JB, I would have sold Chowdhury for 8 million and Mendy for like 5 and got him Bazuma. It's the wages, though, isn't it? I guess his wages have probably been more than the other two put together.
I can't understand why we let Pratt go, to be honest. I mean, with all the games we've got coming up, like European competitions, the cup competitions, you want players like him around. I know he really wants to play, but, you know, I mean, he's got to be above Chowdhury and Mendy, surely, in the pecking order.
He has, but is that his role?
Well, no, but, I mean, he's got to be, I mean, Perez, he would have been an ideal replacement. Obviously now Lookman's come in, but he would have been an ideal replacement for him, wouldn't he, for next 3 games at least?
Yeah,
but,
I mean, I like Pratt. I'm a huge Pratt fan, you know, and I think he suffered because I think his main role is that sort of Tillemans, Maddison, one of those sort of roles.
Yeah.
And how do you and I know Maddison's off form, and I do wonder sometimes, for me, if you're not on form, you just don't play. But Brendan likes those two, and how do you knock one of those two out the team? But I wish Pratt well. Shame it didn't work out, and I think I say it was just the fact that he's unlike Mendy, who is quite happy, I think, to be that squad player. I don't think Pratt was.
No. Well, he's an international, isn't he? You can understand that he wants to play.
Oh, totally. You know,
it's just disappointing because you know he's a good player. You know, you don't want to be letting them sort of guys go, do you? When you've got like Deadwood that you really prefer to go. But,
but it's like you're saying, you know. I mean, let's have a look at those that have left here, and we'll go in Dennis Pratt to Torino on loan, which I suppose, you know, is understandable that we've only got Lookman, who we'll come on to later, obviously on loan in his place because we haven't really got the money. But actually, just on that point, just a sidetrack, money. Our club owners, bless them, found the extra money. I don't think because Vestergaard had Fofana not got injured, I don't think we would have bought. Vestergaard in.
Yeah,
but to say we've just had the worst 18 months financially, probably even worse than the ITV Digital when it went down.
Yeah.
You know, where has all this money come from?
Well, I think it's been obviously there'll be some kind of bridging loan, I would have thought, over the TV money, I would have thought, and future revenue. I'm imagining, I don't know, but I'm surmising. But, you know, I imagine there would be some kind of, I mean, obviously for our owners as well, don't forget their income's been hit because they're duty free and they rely on tourism, which has been massively hit, not just the income of the football club, but it's the income of tourism and people spending money in the duty frees and the airport. That's where they make all their money. So they've had like probably the worst year they could probably have. So, or 18 months, or however long it's been. So, I think there've probably been some loan of some description.
And I've got to say, all credit to them for spending what they've spent. I mean, you know, I think Arsenal have spent a fortune. And look where they are. But Man United, and I'm thinking sometimes those teams have spent that, or the owners have spent that money almost to placate their own fans for the ESL fiasco. You know, suddenly, you know, the Man United, and I'm sure some of the fans are still hating the Glazers, but it's gone quite quiet on that side since they've brought. But brought in Ronaldo, just in case you didn't know. Breaking
I mean,
news,
but
guys.
in fairness to Man United, I mean, the Glazers, they do tend to bankroll transfers, don't they? I mean, they never show doing that, so the fans can't really complain on that regard. I mean, I think they just complain the way they finance the debt, don't they? I think that's what they don't like. They were a club that was debt free, weren't they? And then they've come in and they bought it by borrowing against it. So, they don't like that side of it. So, but so.
Hayden's saying now, I think we should get rid of Perez and bring in someone better than him before the window shuts. Well, we've got 45 minutes, Hayden, so I'm not sure.
In for Perez in 45 minutes, considering he's banned for the next 3 games anyway.
Exactly. And I don't think we'd get a replacement in that time as well.
They're probably going to be his 3 best games of the season for us, the next 3.
Well, I did see somewhere, somebody told, in fact, it was Steve Linux, the ex-player, was telling me on the show that apparently we put an appeal in about Perez's red card and could they make it 6 games, please?
Talking about his red card, I mean, did you see the Pogba challenge?
I've heard, but I didn't see it, to be honest
but
with you.
I mean, it was so similar, the still of it anyway, to the Perez thing. I just wonder where the consistency is, how that's not a red card and his was,
I mean, I think we always got that because it was always down to the referee's judgment, and one referee will see things another way. The problem is, I think I certainly do expect almost total agreement. Now we've got this VAR, which is just failing us on so many levels. But I
mean, in my mind, he was knocked off balance. He was fouled himself, and he was out of balance, and he couldn't stop himself.
No, I think had he maybe trod on his foot, rather than his leg. But you could see the leg bend. It was one of those. Like I say, come on, this is Perez. Let's just enjoy him not being available for 3 games.
No, I'm just doing it on the point of consistency of referees. And it's pretty. I mean, it's Man United, isn't it? Again,
I think I'm more likely to go out with Heidi Klum than you get consistency from referees in any form. Lee says that at the end of the day, it's a 25-man squad. Take 3 keepers out, leaves 22, about 2 players a position. Sponsorship deals, winning the FA Cup, renewing season tickets. I heard Daka sold over 100,000 shirts in Zambia. But were they official shirts or were they knockoff?
Let's get any of the money for them.
Ankit, good evening, sir. You are still top of the league on the quiz show league, as Southampton came very, very much bottom of the league along with Man United. So well done, Ankit. You're still up there top, and thanks for your nice comment. Thank God CHO wasn't sold. A new lot got Lookman. I don't think we could have afforded him, to be honest with you. I'm surprised you didn't go higher for James, though. I would have fancied James, but a lot of fans didn't. I don't know your thoughts on Daniel James at Manchester United.
I mean, I'm not overwhelmed with the signing of Lookman. I think we needed somebody of that position, but judging by some of the players we were linked with, and then it just seems like a bit deflating. He's like, okay, we've got Lookman. Do you know what I mean? I'm not dissing the lad because he's probably going to be great. And but it was just like the Brazilian. Is it David Neves? Is it, or whatever his name is? Yeah. I mean, he looks from Ajax. He looked a really flair player, and there was the Danish guy, the Danish winger as well that we were linked with. We were linked with loads of wingers.
Yes.
Really outstanding, and then you get Lookman. It's just like, okay.
I know what you're saying. The problem is, if you don't know when you bring these players in, do you? Let's be honest with you. I mean, one word, Slimani. You just don't know how these players are going to be. And
no, true.
I've actually got, and I'm glad you mentioned that because it's Tuesday today. Thursday at 6:30, I'm going to be talking to Emilio, who is a huge Fulham and also a Naples fan as well, a Napoli fan. So we're going to be doing a pre-match with him before we play Napoli in the Europa League. But he's also going to come on 6:30 on Thursday, and he's going to give us the lowdown on Lookman, because, of course, he was there for a season. And I spoke to him earlier, and I spoke to Fulhamish as well, and they both said until he got injured, he was probably going to be their player of the season.
Really?
But then he got injured just around Christmas time. And, of course, then it all went pear-shaped for Fulham as a team, and it was going bad for them. So, maybe not as bad as maybe some of us think, but at least we've got one.
An F, or you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? That's what it looks like to me. Okay.
I'll give you a choice here. Here. Lookman or Gazelle?
Well,
Say
what an actual Gazelle.
Say no more. That says it all. JB, Lookman created the third most chances in the league last season behind Grealish and Matthias. Pereira. It was Pereira I really wanted, but he's fulfilled his dream to play in Saudi Arabia, or fulfilled his dream to fill his wallet, whichever way you want to look at it. Hayden, every transfer deadline day, we sign up on a loan deal, and that's it before deadline day. Like I say, I understand it being on a loan deal because it gives us a look at Under. If we'd bought Under,
or did we?
He actually made Gazelle look good. And I liked the guy when he came because he had one good game. So I get the fact of the loans. And then just finishing your sentence off there, Hayden, and bringing 3 players. So looking at who's gone out, really not that many. When you think like most of them, where's Morgan retired? Fuchs' contract expired. Matty James, I forgot, but his contract had expired. And then a couple of the youngsters were sold. Musiki, Darnell Johnson, I was surprised that he went. And then some of the youngsters out on loan.
What was his name? Who went to Club Bruges?
Everson, Shady, and that's Callum Wright. They're all.
There's the guy who went to Club Bruges who was on loan at Laverne.
I'm not sure. Les Barler's gone out to Shrewsbury. Yeah. I know as well Tavares hasn't signed a new contract yet.
He's gone on a free transfer to Parma.
Oh, has he actually gone, has he?
Yeah.
Well, sometimes, I mean, again, he maybe that's he knows what he wants to do. JB Sowa, I think is the one maybe you were thinking of.
That's what I was talking about. Yeah. I didn't know how to pronounce his name. I didn't want to look at twat.
Hey, just leave it to me for that. I'm here for that. Don't worry. Under is playing very well in League One, 3 goals in 4. Yeah, that this doesn't mean to say that he's going to play. Oh, he didn't play well for us, did he? So it swings and roundabouts. Look at Damari Gray now. He's like, it actually. I read somewhere. And
are we in competition with Everton? Because they sign one of our rejects, we sign one of theirs.
maybe it's a deal we've got going, like you said. But somebody, and again, it was one of the punters on the telly, said, like, why the hell didn't... And it wasn't a Leicester guy, but he said, why the hell didn't he play like this for Leicester?
Well, I don't think he got a lot of chance, did he, under Rodgers, to be fair?
In fairness, no, he didn't. No, but... I like Gray. I thought it was a good signing when we got him. At least, I think the problem is he liked to attack the ball and take the ball forward. And of course, Rodgers is more of a defensive sort of, well, as we know.
Well, I think he just I think Benitez has said he just needed an arm around him, and he's got that in Benitez, hasn't he? He probably makes him. Bigs him up, and some players need that, don't they? They need an arm around them. Some need a bollocking, some need an arm around them. Some need to kick up the arse. So it depends.
Do that these days, you're in trouble though. But no, I mean, it's totally right. And some players will come to Leicester because of Brendan Rodgers, and some players won't go to a club because of the manager. They won't admit it, obviously, but you've got to think, can I work under Jose Mourinho or somebody like that? So, good luck to him anyway. Like I say, he And I'll always remember him for scoring that goal against Cardiff after the chairman had passed away. So, right, and it looks like it's going to be a quiet last hour. So let's have a look, because for me, and I actually, and I don't know if I can get this up. Let me just see if I can get this up. Have you got the a stream open there?
I have, yeah, I've got it on my computer, yeah.
Just, I don't know if you can see, just while I'm doing this, if anybody is moving. And if you turn around and say Ronaldo's gone to Man United, I'm cutting you off. Let's have a look.
Spurs are tearing somebody's contract up, or that's Serge Aurier, or whatever his name is.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
What about that guy that left Arsenal and he's lost it like a few million, shall we say?
Yeah. Is it 20 million? Is it
20
million?
million? How bad do you have to hate a club to get that sort of money away?
I think it's going to get worse at Arsenal before it gets better, because I think, I think they're not far away from sacking the chap, and then, there could be a lot of heat on Leicester then, probably for Brendan Rodgers' services.
Yeah,
but I can't see him going to Arsenal in the state they're in at the minute. But
I can't, to be honest with you. It's. I just think I think he's got a future here.
By the way,
sorry,
Bellerin has gone to Real Betis.
Oh, has he? Wow. Yeah. There's. I can't believe that Man City have made the first ever £1 billion player in Grealish, but I struggle. I must admit, I do struggle with the money that's been spent by some of the big clubs. I really do. I think, and I'm not going to be able to show you this, unfortunately, but I'm just going to have one more go and see if I can share this. Window. Yes. By the wonders of modern technology. I'm getting old. I know when I can't do this. Now, this is what I said, because every year I do the BBC website deadline day countdown, and they always ask me to just do the right thing. Now, this is what I said a couple of days ago, and I think I'm pretty much spot on the ball. So I've put, this has been one of the best transfer windows I can remember. I love the way Leicester look ahead, and I've got Bats and Daka in. It's a master stroke, as is the capture of box midfielder Bukhari Sumare. Ryan Bertrand was an un-Rodgers-like side, and it shows insight in getting that experience head into the back four, as well as cover for Luke Thomas. Would you say it's good? Been a good season, transfer window for us overall?
I think so. Yeah, I mean, you can't really argue with the business that we've done. I mean, on paper, Pats and Daka and Samir look good players, and they've shown flashes of what they can do, but we haven't really seen a lot of them, have we yet? They got
we haven't, no.
Potential, but we'll have to wait and see. But on paper, we'll find potential, aren't we? So.
JB says here, I reckon Lookman will be better than people think. He got 8 goal contributions and a struggling side. I must add, he's more of a creator than a goal scorer. The question that I want to know is, yes, he's not a goal scorer, but then again, we've got Vardy, Daka, and Inacho to do that. We're still trying to fill that Mahrez role, aren't we? And
yeah,
the thing I know for Fulham was he played.
I'm hoping he does all right, obviously, but I mean, it just feels like we didn't get. We went down blind alleys with certain players, and we didn't get who we wanted, so we've gone for that option. Do you know what I mean?
I do think, though, when you look, there's a lot of players that we've been linked with that have actually ended up at other teams.
Yeah, we're probably in from him from the start. I don't know. You don't know, do you? But,
you'll never find out. But I know, obviously, Eduardo from Celtic, he's gone to Palace. Kabak has gone to Norwich.
Nathaniel Chalobah is closing in on Fulham, apparently.
Didn't we? Wasn't he the one we were after the season?
I think we were. Yeah.
At least we didn't sign Ryan Bennett, guys. Come on, let's be honest. Joe's saying, and very good point, we'll come on to this later, holding on to our best players was great business too. I believe we are waiting for Berardi next season. Well, who knows? We've got January, of course, coming up. Lookman is a good player. I thought he played okay for Fulham and Everton. Like I say, guys, 6:30 on Thursday. Tune in, subscribe to the channel, set yourself a reminder. The thumbnail's up there, so you can do that. I'll be talking to a Fulham fan all about Lookman. But this, I mean, we did our transfer business early, which in some ways is great because we don't have this sort of last minute sort of panic that all of us hate. But 5 new signings in. When you come to think, not so long ago, one of our last transfer windows, literally we bought Ryan Bennett in. So it's got things have improved, and like I say, well done to the owners for finding the money to do that. But Pats and Daka having a bit like the Mahrez effect in that I've now got probably as many Zambian followers in Leicester Till I Die on Facebook as I ever had Nigerians. He does look good. I mean, he was 27 million from Salzburg. Could have stayed at Salzburg and been playing Champions League. Yeah,
and I believe Liverpool were in for him.
Yeah, no, this is the thing. Yeah, I've done a few of these shows just recently with different channels, and apart from the fact that everybody thinks we are a fantastically run club, they're saying they absolutely are so jealous of our transfer, the way we do our transfers. But JB says here, I would sell Hamza, get him gone in January, and Mendy, and get 15 to 20 million pound player to boost us. So we'll see short around January time. The Bronze, good evening, Bronze Plumber. Don't worry, I'm here now. You can start the conversation whenever you are ready. To be honest with you, if you are a plumber, we're lucky that we got you on the same day that you think you were coming. not 2 days later. But yeah, Daka,
I'm retraining to be a plumber.
Probably, yeah. He's not quite got that timing thing late enough yet. But no, going back to Daka, I mean, he looks an amazing signing, doesn't he?
He does look good. Yeah, bags of potential. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, if you go by YouTube, if you watch him on YouTube, obviously any player looks great on YouTube, don't they? But I mean, how else can we learn about these guys if we don't see them week in, week out?
Exactly. And like I say, he gave up Champions League to, in some form. Don't know how it works in Austria, whether they automatically go in or not, but to come to Leicester. And, he's going to be bedded in. And there's a lot of pressure on him because everybody is saying, oh, it's the new Jamie Vardy. Oh, he's so Vardy-like, esque and what have you. I mean, there isn't another Jamie Vardy. Jamie Vardy is Jamie Vardy, let's be honest. But he does give us that option. And we know that Jamie isn't going to be able to play in Premier League, Europa League, FA Cup, League Cup, depending on how far we go in everything.
I don't think it's going to hurt to give Jamie Vardy a rest every now and again and put him on the, didn't keep him there for the last 15, 20 minutes and give Daka a run in the team.
I do see that as being maybe not this season, but certainly moving on. Jamie Vardy's role is that super sub. You can imagine having had either Inacho or Daka at you for 70 minutes, and fucking hell, Jamie Vardy's coming on, just what we need. The defences are sort of. JB says our transfer window is a solid 8. Could have been better. Could have been worse. Losing a Euro. I'm going to give it a 10. I've got to be honest with you. I think it is a fantastic window. And after we got Daka, and then another Champions League player, well, he would have been in the Champions League, Champions of France, and he probably knew that it wasn't going to happen again with PSG having all the money. But
a unit. He looks like a unit, doesn't he? And what I've seen some flashes of him. Like he looks a beast, getting the ball off people, and his passing looks great as well. But yeah,
I mean,
looking forward to seeing more of him.
Yes, I mean, he's been described as a box-to-box midfielder. He's probably not like an Indeedy, but I don't know
He's
which
got a bit
game
of
it was.
everything.
Yeah, he took on about 8 players from the opposition team, and I can't remember which game it was, and then he still came out with the ball. I mean, he does look, like you say, I think he's going to be a fan's favourite for many, many years. And again, people have been very quick to criticise,
They've signed Middlesbrough winning winger Dijed Spence or something on loan.
That's easy for you to say.
Somebody spends anyway.
But no, I mean, thank God we didn't sign him. Trouble I have with names. I can just about manage Samari. But no, I just think he's like going to be a fan's favorite. I can see him as a future captain.
What, Samari,
yeah. Oop, hang on a second, my mouse isn't working. Colton Fox used to look, Chris. I don't know. I'm awake, if that's what you mean. I hope you're not being too personal. You know me. I see rude jokes in everything. KDH feels like a new signing, and JJ will. Yeah, we'll get James Justin back. It will be like a new signing. But yeah, Samari, I can see him, like I say, being a captain. I mean, 18 million from Lille. I think he's going to be a bargain. He's only 22. He's going to be a bargain, isn't he?
Yeah. I mean, KDH, when he came on for the last 5 minutes, and he did more than Maddison did in that 5 minutes than he did in the entire time he was on the pitch.
Do you think, and this was a question I did ask in one of the other shows, but do you think Maddison is almost undroppable in Brendan's eyes?
Is anybody undroppable? I don't know.
Well, you would hope not, wouldn't you? But when you look at Perez and then you look at Maddison, I mean, he's not the Maddison that he was before the injury, and it might take a while for him to get back to that, and that's understandable when you've been injured. But he's played some dire performances, and you're thinking, why is he still on the field when we've got a Pratt on that sounds bad, but we've got Dennis Pratt on the bench, and yet Maddison's putting these really substandard performances in. Yeah.
I mean, I think he's the mindset of like, form's temporary, class is permanent sort of attitude, and he'll come good, and but the only way he's going to come good if you keep playing him, and it's probably the same attitude with Perez, isn't he? There is players, and I suppose it's a good thing in a way that he gets behind them and he backs them. He signed them, so they're carrying out his coaching tactics and what have you. So he's the man. I mean, we can't argue with him too much, can we? And what is delivered and in what
Exactly. I do feel bad complaining sometimes, but
top 5 finishes. So
I am contractually advised, contractually obliged to find some faults to talk about. Cullerton Fox says there, he is a Patrick Vieira type player. Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head there with Samari. JB says Brennan has took him off multiple times now and kept him out a few times last season. So I reckon he is droppable, but he's a top player. In Brendan is probably hoping he regains his form of last season. So do I. I honestly would love to see the Maddison of old, to be honest with you.
Well, I think Maddison would have seen that 5 minutes that KDH had, and he'd be thinking, "Oh shit, he's breathing down my neck now. I've got to pull my finger out."
Well, you'd hope so, yes.
Yeah. Well, I think he will be, because he should have had an assist, shouldn't he? If Kel could finish his dinner and put that away, he'd have had an assist, wouldn't he, on his debut? So
Yeah, yeah. Yank talking smack. Good evening, sir. How the devil are you? Thanks for joining us. American friend here. Man United fan. Oh, just if you haven't heard, Yank, you've re-signed Ronaldo. Breaking news for you there, because you probably didn't know, but
Go
just to
find a
let you
pound
know.
for every time you've mentioned Ronaldo tonight.
Hey, I tell you what, if I'm getting £1 off Sky, you can I'd still be well in pocket, I'll tell you. Hats off to Leicester for again being one of the smartest clubs in the world when it comes to signing and selling. Indeed, indeed. Thanks, Yank. How are you doing? So, this was a very Brendan Rodgers type signing, but I think for me is going to be the signing of the window, and that is Ryan Bertrand. And I managed to say that without putting a French accent on. And I always want to say Bertrand, and I don't know why. I really don't. But I think it is. We lost Chilwell. Fuchs has gone. We've got a lot of young defence. In fairness, you've got Soyuncu, who needs somebody that knows what he's doing next to him, that can tell him to stop pissing about and put his foot through the ball. And Luke Thomas, he needs somebody to sort of bring him on, if you like. And again, I don't think Luke Thomas is ready for all the games that are going to be required of him. And I think this is such an astute signing. And he's looked, and it's just a shame he got COVID because he looked so good. One of my players of pre-season.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, he was great in the Charity Shield, wasn't he? Yeah, he looked really good. Yes. It's a shame that he got COVID, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've had a bit of bad luck. Let's hope we were having all our injuries early on this season.
We have. It's just like, we need to sign like 10 defenders because we know 8 of them are going to end up injured or not available.
I think we need I don't know, since we've got this new training ground, I don't know if the medical facilities have gone down a little bit because we seem to have loads of 30 injuries. We need to sign some physios or something, a new medical team.
And do you remember that season when we won the Premier League? We had no injuries hardly, but they had that fridge or whatever it was. That yeah. I believe Jamie Vardy still got one of those at home. Actually, he does when he's injured. He uses at home. But Cullerton Fox, quite right. I've been on a couple of West Ham channels. They've also had a great transfer window. Yank talking smack, and now in fairness, Yank does know his business. He does a lot of blogs and searching on English on players for the Premier League. Lookman is exactly who you'll need. You can tell he's American, can't you? Exactly who y'all need. Needed to go to that right wing to partner Barnes. I mean, we're going to come on to Lookman in a second, but that right and left wing is a bit confusing for people because of, I'll tell you something Craig was saying earlier. JB, totally agree. Ryan Bertrand is going to be quality for us and seems it when he plays. As I say, I just can't see a better. And all we know, they're all good signings, but to me, that was a stroke of genius getting him in. Scott, good evening, Scott. How the devil are you, sir? Seen reported we could be in for DJ Spence from Middlesbrough. Never heard of him, to be honest with you. Do you know him at all, Daniel?
That's the one I just reported is going on loan to Forest.
Oh, is that the one? Sorry. Yeah. Right. Sorry,
No.
I wasn't listening to you. You were breaking up a little bit at the time. You're quite right. Yeah. He has, yes.
Wigan Athletic had just signed St Johnstone's Jason Kerr and Millwall's Malon Roan set to join Portsmouth on loan. So it's all happening in the lower divisions and the championship.
Well, it's all. I mean, the only thing that's been happening in the top league, well, we all know who's gone to Man United. I'm not going to say his name again. Cullerton Fox, Top Banana, Bertrand. Well, let's hope he doesn't slip up. Well, hey, see what I did there.
Spurs have signed Adama Traore. It's just come up.
Really?
Yeah, he's staying at Wolves.
Oh, staying. Yep. Sorry, staying at Wolves. Yes.
Yeah,
I don't think they were going to let him go. I mean, take him out of the team, and I mean, you know, he can't shoot at the moment. He sort of shoots, reminds me a bit of Schlupp, runs past 10 people, then shoots into Rose Ed a little bit. But next signing we made
It's a
was,
unit.
sorry, mate.
He's a right unit. It looks like he should stay out the gym.
No, he isn't. I would, if he was coming towards me, I'd go, yeah, there you go past. Casper is yours, you know. But then we played a friendly, pre-season friendly against Europa League winners Villarreal, and one of their players, let's put it kindly, said they had a rush of blood to the head and decided to break the leg of one of our players. And what annoyed me just as much was the fact that they'd been going down if you farted at them all game, the Spanish players, and then they carried on after that, which I think was very, very disrespectful. But at the end of the day, Fofana was injured, which was a great shame because he'd been looking good. Within a week, we'd got this guy in and signed and done and dusted. And I've never known Leicester go react so quickly and get somebody in.
I know. It's it was needed though, wasn't it? I mean, with pretty dire consequences at the back, isn't there? I mean, I don't know what's wrong with Benkovic. I mean, why can't he be given a go? I mean, he hadn't done that bad in the pre-season, had he? I mean, what's he done to upset everybody?
I asked this on a poll on Twitter. Who should we start in the next game when, you know...
I mean, surely he's got to be better centre half than Daniel Amati.
You see, that was my thought when I asked the question. But Amati got the most votes. Indeed, moving back was second, and Benkovic was third. There's something.
Soyuncu's last couple of performances.
Yeah, well, exactly. In fairness to Amati, he had a great game in the Charity Shield, Community Shield, English Super Cup, to name all three. He was was man of the match. Had some awful games, but he was man of the match for the Leicester Till I Die. Brian and Alan, they both picked him as their man of the match.
Yeah,
in the last game against Norwich.
I'm only singling him out because he's not really a centre half, is he? Isn't he a midfielder?
He's one of the utility players, and centre half is one of the positions that he can play in. I think
Arsenal
with Benkovic, Arsenal have got somebody.
Yeah, Takiro Tomiyasu. I think.
Bless you. I read earlier that they weren't signing anybody else under Arteta. But,
they have.
Well,
they've obviously got rid of Bellerin and they've got that over the line.
Well, let's be honest with you. I mean, you know, the rumours were all day today were that Arsenal had offered 40 million to West Ham for Antonio's cardboard cutout. And that West Ham had turned it down. Hey, it's easy to kick a team when they're down, especially when it's Arsenal. But you know, Benkovic. Obviously, Brendan Rodgers is the guy that took Benkovic to Celtic for a season on loan.
Yeah,
liked him so much that he kept him for another second season. He won the treble with Celtic, but. And this is a kind of why I tend to sort of, I know we always say, believe in your manager and what have you, but he obviously saw something in Benkovic that was good enough for Scotland, but not good enough for the Premier League. Now, we've signed Vestergaard, who's 6'6". Benkovic is 6'4". He's no sort of midget himself. But when he couldn't get on the pitch, when he couldn't get on the bench, and we've got two goalkeepers on the bench. I mean, when was going to bring you Pukovic on? Was he going to bring him on instead of Vardy if Vardy got injured up front? I don't know. That was the weirdest decision. But there's obviously something. But he's not gone again. Now, I don't know when the deadline is for loans because that's a little bit later, isn't it, I think?
Yeah. I was just trying to put that Sergio Aurier, I think is how you pronounce it. Tottenham's terminated his contract and he's leaving on a free. But he's probably going to Watford, Real Betis, or Spartak Moscow or Genoa. So Yeah.
Um,
There you go. Another one just come in.
Yeah, Cullerton Fox just said here he plays centre half for his country. 10 minutes, and we've got Tillermans and at least till January.
Yeah.
This international break has done Leicester good. We hope Vestergaard and Evans will be back and Bertrand. But you see, I'm at it again, Bertrand. Evans, Bertrand, he's I don't know why. I'm gonna have to contact him and say you're gonna have to change your name, mate. I didn't think Dynamo could help Arsenal. Now, so that's Vestergaard. I think it was a great signing. I hate to tell you, Leicester are winning the lot. Ant, well done, mate. Welcome along, Ant. Get over to Beyond the 90. Great Leicester channel. Give them a sub and get over there. Of course, we're going to win everything. We've won everything English anyway, so we've got to go into Europe now. But, so yeah, I thought Vestergaard was a really good signing. And the fact that they went so quick and got him, because obviously we know that they've been after him for a while. A couple of windows we've been after him. And I think the fact that they had this injury and went out and got him so quickly is, again, a great bit of business for, I mean, it took Man United, was it 2 and a bit, nearly 3 seasons to get Sancho? They got Ronaldo a little bit quicker, apparently, allegedly. I don't know if that's true or not, but apparently they might have signed Ronaldo. So to go out and get this guy within a week, I'm really, really pleased with. Scott says here, Benkovic, for me, needs to be sent out on loan. He's struggled in. I think he should just go now. I think he's another Kaputska, to be honest with you. I think he's one we thought we'd bring in. We brought him in at the same time as Soyuncu, and he's not broken through yet. So I don't think he's going to be honest with you. I don't know if you would agree with that, Daniel.
I don't think he is now. I mean, no, I think that ship sailed, isn't it? I mean, if there was ever a time that he would break into the team, it would be now, wouldn't it, with the injury crisis that we've got as a centre half? I mean, what's he got to do? Has everybody got to be struck down with lightning?
Like I said, if Djokovic is getting on as a third goalkeeper on the bench ahead of you, you've got to look at you and go to your agent, get me out of here. I'm a disaster. Get me out of here. JB, that would be great. And I'm a big Tarkowski fan, and I think that would be great. Yank, Spurs and Ori have come to an agreement, and he's been released effective immediately. I mean, not long ago, he was scoring a superb goal for them, wasn't it?
He scored against us.
I don't know, every Spurs. I know it's usually Kane that scores against us, isn't it? And then our last signing that we've made today, and a bit of a lukewarm reception for him. The Fulham guy said to me, he said, like, how do you feel about signing him? And I do worry the fact that he's always, when you look at Fulham and Craig, on here, Craig Bird was saying, he played on the left a lot for Fulham, or almost all the games for Fulham on the left, which is obviously where we've got Barnes. I think he's right-footed, so whether Brendan sees him on that right wing but wants him to come in, because obviously Brendan does like players that will come inside, I don't know, but is it just me? Am I the only one that's really excited by this? And hopefully this is going to be the one that we finally get a decent right winger.
I'm optimistic about it. I can't say I'm excited about it because I don't know really enough about him. I know that he scored against us when they beat us 2-0 at our place. It was one of our dreadful performances last season, wasn't it? Obviously, I wasn't there to see him. I've seen a clip of the goal today, but no one was there, were they? But no, I don't know. All I can remember him being at Everton, going on loan and being farmed out on loan all over the place. So,
But again, going back, because we were saying this about Damari Gray, weren't we? He was absolutely. I didn't think he was bad, but a lot of people say he was shy. His attitude wasn't right, and you could argue as to why that was. But yeah, he's suddenly gone to Everton, and he's playing amazing. This guy could come to us, love Rogers plays in well, because again, Mark Albrighton, I know he's just signed a new 3-year contract, but he's not getting any younger. Gets an injury, could be out a while. Like I say, as Ant said here, 22-year-old, promising perfect Leicester profile of a player. I think so. I think he will get more of a chance than Under did. I wasn't excited until he spoke about his excitement to play for us and how much it means to him. So it seems like he feels he needs to prove a point. But then again, he's not going to say, "Oh God, it was Leicester. Nobody else would come in for me."
To be honest, I saw the interview that he'd put out, and he did speak quite well actually. He said it's a massive club and all this sort of thing, and said the facilities were amazing. So. He did speak quite well. Having watched that, I did feel a bit more upbeat about it. But to me, it just seemed like a sort of.
Is that because do you think of the other players we've been linked with, like Berardi?
I think so. There's more exciting wingers, more high profile players, shall we say, that we were linked with. So I'm not dissing the lad. I'm sure he's going to do great for us, but it just seemed like. It was, plan F, or the others didn't pan out so well. They will make do with this lad then, sort of thing.
Yeah,
but, I'm sure.
Triflago, is it? I couldn't pronounce him. He's ended up at one of our Premier League rivals, and we were linked with him.
He's gone to Wolves, hasn't it?
Is it Wolves? Yes, he has. Yeah, that's it. I couldn't think who it was. So a lot of the players we've linked with.
He looked quite good actually, because I saw him play. He played against us, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he looked quite lively. As did a lot of Wolves players, to be fair. I mean,
in fact, had they had their shooting boots on, I don't think we'd have necessarily got the 3 points. But
Wolves have had they haven't won a game, have they yet? But they've had a couple of good performances. I think they were unlucky against Man United, from what I can gather.
Yeah. And don't do this to me. I'm going to be a fatty. Got a McDonald's on delivery. Do you know what? The only ones that do deliveries here for McDonald's is Uber, and they are bloody rubbish with their deliveries. Whenever it gets to me, the chips are cold, the burgers lukewarm.
There's nothing worse than cold McDonald's.
There isn't, and I watched the Uber thing on my app. I'm thinking, what the hell are you going that way for? And I think they actually deliver 2 or 3 at the same time or whatever. But man, I'm thinking like, yeah, come on. So I haven't done it. So, Ant, I'm jealous of you. I'm going to block you now. Never speak to you again.
I called into a McDonald's before I went to the tube station when I went to the Charity Shield game at Wembley. And there was all the Uber drivers like queuing up there, and I'm just wondering how the hell they make any money out of that. How many little they got to make in a day to make any money? I mean, because a McDonald's, how much is a McDonald's? About a tenner.
Well, I'm the same with Deliveroo. I use Deliveroo a lot, and when you see the it's like 99p delivery charge or something, and then you think, well, Uber, Deliveroo are going to be taking probably 70p of that. The guy cycled all the way down here just to get me fat. There we go. But
I know they're all on little scooters, risking the bloody lives in London traffic to deliver you a burger for 30p.
Crazy. Yeah. There you go, Ant. You see, you've completely sidetracked us now. We're talking McDonald's, and the problem is because I live in Poole and in the town centre, which is literally only 5 minutes. I could have walked to the McDonald's and back before Uber deliver, but they shut down. And you know what? Not only did they shut down, the same week Burger King shut down as well. That's a double whammy. Can I just say?
We've got 1 minute left, mate. There's a transfer.
Can I just say, Ant, choke on it? I am being horrible today. I want Ant to choke. I want Ronaldo to break his leg. I'm not being a nice person.
Yeah. But we've missed a couple of signings there, mate. Some massive signings just gone through. Sheffield United striker Daniel Jebsen has joined League One side Burton Albion. So that's a massive coup for Burton Albion there.
Oh, why didn't we? What was Rudkin doing?
St Johnson midfielder Ali McCann is joining Preston for a fee of £1 million.
I should have had you all day rather than watching Sky Sports,
That's
shouldn't
it.
I?
That's it. It's closed.
It's closed. It's closed.
It's closed, mate.
I just wanted 2 points to bring up. John Rudkin, he takes some stick over the years, for not getting players or whatever. But my God, in these last however many years, because he does. I don't think he gets the credit he deserves for the signings we make.
No.
You've got the scout system goes and finds them, but he's the one that has to close the deals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fair comment.
Yeah,
not really hard.
Yeah, Rondon has joined Everton. Let's just. Oh,
sorry about that.
You were getting excited then for a minute, weren't you? Throwing everything around the place. So. Yeah, Sky have just said here, what a window it has been. A summer of signings like no other. Ronaldo, Messi and Grealish. Who knew they would mention those three? Excuse me, I think if you find you've got Daka Samari, Bertrand, Vestergaard and Lookman. That's your summer of signings, Sky Sports.
It says, remember, clubs still have an hour in order to submit their paperwork, so a few deals are likely to be announced shortly.
Or, if you're Leicester City, of course, an hour and 13 seconds.
Yeah.
But
wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh God, don't remind me about that. But
I would deal with Porto. Was it Porto? No, it wasn't Porto, was it?
No, I think no, it was Villarreal. I'm not. It was a Spanish one, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't. Was it? It was Portuguese. We signed. It was same place. We got bloody. What's his name from? Slimani.
Oh, Porto then, wasn't it?
Porto.
Yeah. Porto. No, Lisbon. Sporting Lisbon.
Sporting Lisbon, that was it. We never deal with them. Is it with them pissing about trying to, up the price in it at the last minute?
Yeah.
Rondon's completed his move to Everton, and that's just come up. Yeah.
But so somebody said earlier, and it was a very, very, very good point, is that this is the first summer transfer window when we've not sold a major player. And I actually had, although I've not said it, because I'm sometimes think if I say things, it makes them come true. But I think that I was worried about Tielemans, to be honest with you, because he hasn't put pen to paper. And Maddison, obviously, we now know that it was the fans rather than the actual clubs that were bigging that move up. But we have, it can sometimes be, as I said this to the BBC, sometimes it can be as good a window by holding on to your players. And we don't need to sell. We're not a selling club in the fact that, we've got to sell a player. I mean, Arsenal have had to sell to try and bring anybody in. Yes, we've had to try and cut the wage bill down, but we don't have to. We sell if we want to, and, you look at, Maguire, we sold him for 80. Chilwell, sold him for 50. We'll only sell if we get an offer we can't refuse. And holding on to Tielemans, and although he hasn't signed his contract, I am hoping that means he might just sign it. And Danny's gone.
No, I'm here.
You're there. Oh.
Yeah.
you blacked out then. You blacked out. JB, I hope you're right here, JB. He says Yuri was waiting if a club comes in for him. He was assessing his options, but now he will sign the contract with us. I hope so. I really do hope so. And you've got it almost, I no disrespect to Yuri Tielemans, but it was almost like the big clubs. And he was never going to go, I don't think, to an Everton or a West Ham. If he was going to go, it was going to be a Liverpool, a Chelsea, Man City, one of those sort of clubs. And I just think they've had bigger fish to fry.
I think it's as good as he is. I don't think he's not that standout player that they're looking for, are they? I mean, he for like Man City, I don't think he'd play every week for them with all the players that. Well, nobody will for them, will they? Really, they got that many players. that they'll
That
rotate.
doesn't seem to bother a lot of players, though, does it?
No, I'm sure it doesn't. But I mean, if he stays at Leicester, he's going to be the man, isn't he? He's going to be the main guy, and he's going to play in week out. Yeah, I mean, the other reason he would go would be for this big wage increase. I think that's probably why Maddison probably fancied the Arsenal move if he ever did, but apparently he was open to it according to the reports. But it's probably because he fancied 200, 300 grand a week.
Thing is, I mean, it's all paper talk, isn't it? I worked in newspapers for ages, and I know how a little throwaway comment suddenly becomes a full page story.
Yeah.
And there's so many papers, there's so many TV channels these days. Sky Sports is 24 hours just repeating, regurgitating everything, and they've got to fill that with something, and you've got. I just think you say they I just think say get these little stories and just blow it out of all proportion. JB is saying here, my main confidence in the club would have sold him my main confidence is the club would have sold him if he wasn't going to sign the contract, as we don't let players go on the cheap or run down their contract. We're certainly not a PSG there, are we, Daniel?
No.
But that's it. Like you say, it's all over. There's a couple of little things dribbling through. Southampton, Obi Farmi is signing for Swansea. They've lost a lot of players, Southampton. So that's it. Unless anything sneaks through and I wake up in the morning to some different news. Hopefully overnight Ronaldo will all go through and won't hear about it at all tomorrow. I doubt that's going to happen. But overall, out of 10, and guys, if you're watching as well, let me know. Out of 10, what would you give this transfer window for Leicester?
Are you asking me?
Yeah. You first, and if anybody's watching,
I'm going to go for a solid 8.
Really?
Yeah,
really?
solid 8. I can't give it a 10.
No?
No, I can't give it a 10. I'd say an 8.
You see, I would.
If you've got Berardi or one of the the guys.
This Lookman thing, you got to let it go, Daniel. Let it go. Gabby Lewis, right? Good evening. She says 8 as well. You see, I would go for 10. David Gamble, you're a hard person to please. You've just gone for a 6. I don't know. No disrespect, mate. It's your opinion. I respect your opinion, but I don't think you can call that. I'm going to sound like Will Young now talking to Simon Cowell. I don't think you can judge that as a 6 out of 10 window. I don't think it could be any better. We've been crying out for a striker for years because we know Vardy's, getting on a little bit. Samari is, like you say, an amazing midfielder. Bertrand, like I've said, for me, the signing of the window with the experience he's got, we got in there and snapped him up. Vestergaard got him in within a week, and of needing that position to be filled, we went out, got him within a week. Lookman,
I'm going to give you, while I'm really giving it an 8, is because we've let Pratt go, and we've still got Hamza Chowdhury and Mendy, and that's the only reason I'm giving it an 8. I'm taking 2.
I know, I get what you're saying there, Daniel,
and still having them 2.
Yeah, but maybe I'm giving it a 10 because we've held on to Maddison, we've held on to Ndidi, we've held on to Tillemans. Those are like the 3 crown jewels, if you like. But the thing is, we've let Chowdhury would have gone, so we haven't let he's not stayed because we've not been open to him going in. But there's only been Newcastle want him. We just. What can I say? I just think holding on to those players and the players we brought in, I don't think we've had a better window. I can't remember.
In all honesty, I don't think we have. The only reason I'm only giving it an 8 is because we've let Pratt go, and like I say, we've not got rid of some of the players that I think is requirements. But the players that we've bought in and holding on to the players that we've got has been fantastic, and you can't argue with that. And signing Vestergaard when we've needed a centre half, finding the money for him. And, you know, even obviously I'm a bit pessimistic about Lookman because I don't really know much about him, to be honest. And I don't know what he's going to be like. I'm sure he's going to do really well. But, you know, I just, like I reiterated earlier, that I fancied some of the other players that were linked with above him. But, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah. David says there, well, we're not playing them. No, we're not. But are you saying that you're going to put 4 new players straight in? You're not going to make those play. It's a long season, David. We've played 3 games and we've got 2 wins out of those 3 games. We've lost to West Ham, who beat us last season twice, who finished a point behind us in the league and have proven proving me wrong by doing well this season. So, yeah, you know, it's not necessarily broken yet. So ask me again after West Ham. But no, I don't think you're ever going to see those all of them thrown in too soon.
We've had a good performance yet, have we? I mean, yet we've still got 6 points, so I think we can be grateful for that. And I think we're going to
exactly. If you're getting points, you know, I mean, you know, we won the title winning 1-0. Man United played Wolves. I don't know if you saw it, but Wolves were like battering them.
Yeah, I heard that.
Man United got the goal, and it's the goal that won the game. And you know, that's the difference. Scott there, 7.5 out of 10. Not sure about Vestergaard. Think we could have got better. And same goes for Lookman. I mean, Vestergaard was 15 million. I would have loved Tarkowski, but he was 30 million. Would it have been worth paying another 15 million to get Tarkowski? No, I don't think it would have done, because that would have left us maybe short, that maybe we couldn't have then bought in a right winger. Let's face it, you're not going to please everybody all the time, are you? You know, 10 if we hold on to Tillemans. I think that's David again. Bookline, good evening, sir. How the devil are you? How is America doing? When the net transfer is such a large negative, there is a high risk season. The boys need to deliver, or there will be pulled back next year. I think you could say that about a lot of the top clubs, couldn't you? You know. DJ Nick says, can't sell players if no one wants or values them. Exactly. 100%. Like you say, you know, Newcastle couldn't afford Chowdhury. It was as simple as that. Not seeing any of the players have not played, keeping the old hands still in the team. Yeah, but those old hands have got us 6 points out of 9. Weak spot is not had a good defender. Vestergaard's injured, so we can't judge him. He got injured within a week of joining us. But Bertrand I got it right. Bertrand had COVID as soon as the season started, so we've not seen him in the season. We know he is good, though. We've seen him. Yeah. The 2 players we signed, Bertrand and Bertrand, you know, they work well together. So, you know, it's been unfortunate with the defence. And Amati, bless him, he's had a couple of really good games, and he's had a couple of. Brookline says here, my favourite transfer will be the return. I mean, yeah, when James Justin comes back, he's going to be like a new signing, isn't it? Too many injuries.
Injury return, is he, James Justin?
I think it's going to be January, I do believe. You know, along with Wesley Fofana, so that'll be great when they come back. DJ Nick, this is about steady progression. Sign the usual future prospects that will increase in value, and then look for the experience to plug the gaps to our injured players. Loan as many main targets for possible. And David Evans is not coming back till the end of September. I mean, well, hopefully we've got Vestergaard who's going to fill that gap until he comes back. But that's what I like about this window. You got Daka, you got Samari, you got Lookman, all 22, 23, and you got Bertrand and Vestergaard, that bit older with Premier League experience, and we've held on to Tillemans, Ndidi, and Maddison. So for me, I can see why you're giving it 8. For me, it's a 10. But let's say come back in January when all these players have flopped, and then I may have to reassess it. But on what we've done, as the guy said earlier, have we had a better transfer window? No. We've had a lot worse. We've had a lot worse. 2 words, Ryan Bennett. I'll leave that thought with you. Daniel, thank you so much for joining me, mate.
No worries, mate.
I've enjoyed it. Just give us out, because Daniel, if you see in the Facebook group, and I put one up today for him, Kieran Dewsbury Hall. He does all the pencil pictures of all the players. Between you and me, I think he does some sort of nude artwork as well. But we won't go there. We won't go there. That's when his wife goes away. No, seriously, he does some great pictures. How can people, I mean, if you go on to ltid.com/art and go on to Daniel's page, he's got a page there with all his pictures on. But how can they find you on the internet, Daniel?
Best place to look is on my Instagram. It's Danny Harrison Art. They can see all my work on there. That's probably the best place to see. I don't update my website. It's a bit, I've got to sort it out, to be fair. I've got on at the minute, so I've not really done much with it.
So Instagram's the best place to see them all. And just say it again.
It's Danny Harrison Art, at Danny Harrison Art.
At Danny Harrison Art. Go and check it out, guys. There's some great pictures on there. Danny, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure having you on. And hey, fingers crossed. Then it's only Man City up next. Let's not worry about it.
Well, beat them already.
Thanks very much, mate, and I'll talk to you soon.
Cheers, mate.
Take care. Bye-bye. Oh, thanks to Danny there for coming on and doing that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. There we go. Daka, Sumari, Bertrand, Vestergaard, and Luckman. I think it's been a great window, and we've still got Tillemans, we've still got Madison, we've still got Ndidi. What more can we want? To me, it's been the best window. I'm 60, and I can't remember a better window. So that's what it is. Stick with us, and I'm just going to play this while I just have a quick drink, and then I'm going to tell you what's coming up.
The Premier League is back, and we've got it all covered here on Leicester Till I Die TV. Subscribe.
We have, and what's coming up is tomorrow, 7 o'clock. We are going to be doing a quick preview of August. So at the end of every month, we'll be looking at the big games, all the games, how the months worked out, how are Leicester doing? Are we surprised Tottenham are top? Are we surprised Arsenal are bottom? Rhetorical. I'll be joined by a West Ham fan will be coming on. So, yeah, fingers crossed for that. Should be good. And we'll be talking, like I say, looking back at August. And then on Thursday at 6:30, join us because I'll be talking to Emilio, and he's a Fulham fan, and he'll be telling us all about Luckman. Is Luckman all that? Well, we're going to find out when I speak to Emilio, 6:30 on Friday. Guys, if you want to listen to any of these shows back, and I usually forget to say this, please check us out on our podcast. If you don't want to look at me, don't know why you wouldn't, but I understand. I do. I do know why you wouldn't. Spotify, Apple iTunes, Amazon, Google Podcast Addict, and Anchor, to name but 6. And you can listen back to all the shows. They go live usually about 10 minutes after we finish here. Or you can get over onto our YouTube channel, Leicester Till I Die TV. We are so close, guys, to hitting that 1K, which means that I can have Heinz beans rather than Aldi. So please, if you're not on YouTube, get onto YouTube, Leicester Till I Die TV, and give us a sub. We are so close. It is unbelievable. But hey, thanks very much for joining us. Thanks to Danny. Fantastic window. Honestly, for me, it's a 10 out of 10. And tomorrow, like I say, 7 o'clock for the August review, and Thursday, 6:30 for Luckman. We'll be looking at Luckman. Good night now. Thanks for joining us.
Hello, Matt Elliott here. Be sure to watch Leicester Till I Die TV on YouTube and follow all their social media platforms for all the latest updates and news on Leicester City Football Club.
Thanks for watching Leicester Till I Die. This is Chris saying goodbye and see you next time.
Come to an end. But the fun doesn't have to stop here. If you have any questions, suggestions, or feedback, head over right now to Twitter and Facebook and like, share, and get involved. Join us next time.